Welcome to the Warband, a World of Warcraft podcast. My name is Swag, and with me today, we have... Well, actually, listen. I think everybody needs to know how incredible this man is. Not just a father of one, a father of two. Kind of a father to me, in many ways, actually. We have Chicken.
Okay, that's enough. That was weird.
Dude, I don't know, man. I run
father to you.
Dude, I'm running out of like ways to intro, dude. I can't come up with AI songs for every
At least
every
you
podcast.
just said father. You could have said other words for father, and that would have been weirder.
That could have been worse. Yeah.
That could have been a lot weirder.
Yep. Absolutely. But you know what's not weird? Spending all your time in player housing, because that's what I've been doing.
You know
this
what's
week.
not weird? Being a lumberjack.
Yeah, why's that?
I don't know. What do you mean?
I don't know, dude. I thought that was like a segue into like how you've been farming lumber and materials for player housing.
Well, yes and no.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's just be real, right? Obviously, I gotta farm a little bit, you know?
Dude,
I can't
gosh.
I can't just not take advantage of that sweet gold, right?
I got into player housing this week and realized that I had way less stuff to decorate with than I thought I would. I was like,
really?
Oh, dang. Yeah, I'm currently right now working my way through my class order hall in Legion for Death Knights because I want to have like a Death Knight themed room in my house. And man, dude, I'm grinding. I normally do not grind out achievement stuff like this, but like I am grinding right now because I'm like I just want cool things for my house. Because normally I don't care.
Stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, then I should already have it because I did all the order hall stuff.
Yeah. You probably have like a cool like did you what class? Death Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have like a cool like Death Knight book thing, I think.
Ooh,
And like a weapon rack and
book
stuff.
thing.
Yeah, like a weapon
Heck
rack.
yeah,
and
I
stuff.
love book things.
But all that to say though, like, dude, I think what it is, normally I don't care too much about grinding. Like, I'll grind out mounts sometimes if I think they're cool, because people will see that. Or if there's a transmog I really want, I'll go figure out how to get it, because people will see that, right? And I don't normally care about professions, because I just don't care, and it's not fun content to me. But man, I'll do just about anything if it's something I can, like, show off. Like, a physical thing I can go, look what I have. This is cool. And that right now is, well, actually, before this week came out, I was playing a crap ton of Fortnite because they added like a guitar weapon into the game that I just had to have, so I had to farm that out. It was the one from it's the one from Back to the Future. The Gibson ES345 that he plays. We're off topic. This is the wrong podcast. Anyways, I will like if I can show something off, I will farm for it. That's my point, right? And I am now like doing that. I don't normally farm in WoW. It's just not my thing. But I am doing that right now for player housing, and no shame, because I want people to walk in and be like, this is cool. Like, I want people to hang out in my house.
Do you think people will hang out in your house? Low key, not trying to hate. Like, literally.
First of all, it's me, so yes, right? People love me, dude. I got friends. At least, well, I have you.
I'm just like, I just am like, what is the advantages of hanging out in your house?
Okay, well, I will say this, though. I will say I have actually walked in my house and caught people just chilling in there.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
You can do that?
Yeah. Dude, you can go into the guild list, into the guild roster, and right-click any name and click View House.
No way.
And then it'll teleport you to their house, so long as their permissions allow it, which by default I think most do. You can teleport to their house right from the roster. And then so long as they have permission set for you to walk into their house, you can just walk into the house. I do it to people all the time. I just go, oh, so-and-so's on. I want to go see what their house looks like. I'll just go pop in. It's actually like, so, like, player housing feels so much more social than I realized it would. Because they made it so easy to go to people's houses.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty legit, actually.
Mm-hmm. And you can do it on your friends list, too. You could, if you have, like, a friend, personally friends list, you can just, like, right-click their name and teleport to their house.
Does it like notify you that like, hey, so and so is in your house?
Nope. No.
That's kind of sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
What if someone's gonna like take my stuff?
Well, kill them.
Can you actually fight?
No, but that would be sick, wouldn't it? Dude, imagine having like a PvP room,
Dude,
like a little
imagine.
Gurubashi arena in your home.
Yeah, like if it was like GTA or something, and like someone came to your house and you just fought them and killed them,
That
and
would
then
be sick.
put their head on your mantle.
But yeah, dude, I've just had, and we're gonna probably talk a little bit about player housing. So we're kind of just a cold start into the topic. But bro, I've had so much fun with it. I've been playing so much, dude. My wife has been playing for the last like 5 hours.
What?
Yeah, dude. Well, maybe not 5. It's probably been like four hours, maybe 5. Maybe it's 5.
Not 5.
It's like 4.
It's been like 4 hours and 50 minutes.
Something like that, right? All that to say, dude. Normally she'll play WoW with me for like 2 hours and then she's done. She's like, all right. She's like, that's it. That's all the questing I can do. I'm done. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I get it, right? Like, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
Yeah,
She's been playing nonstop for like 4 or 5 hours, and I'm not complaining, by the way. That's not a complaint for me. No, she's loving it. She's having. We're gonna have an interview with Kaipo at the end of this episode today. So you and I are we recorded backwards, where Kaipo actually we recorded with him, and now we're recording with each other. Which will be good. We're gonna be talking about all things beta testing. But in between our recording with him and us now, I like popped over to see how she was doing, just checking on her before I got back. Because again, I don't know. I wanted to stretch my legs and just walked over to my wife to say hi, and she was still playing. And she's like, you'd be so proud of me. I've been like Googling how to find all these items, and she was like talking about how she's finally like going through portals on her own. She's like, I went through a bunch of portals to get there, and I found stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm impressed.
Dang,
I'm impressed, right? Because usually,
wait, is she in the guild?
Yeah, she's in the guild.
Oh,
yeah, she's level 80.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean. Sweet. I didn't know.
Yeah, no. So she's been messing with her house, building her house. Chicken, have you had much of a chance to mess with player housing yet?
Yeah, I played it a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, low key, I straight memed because I was like, oh well, I'm not gonna build a house and then just like have to build another one once the guild neighborhood opens.
You mentioned
like,
that to me.
That seems kind of stupid. And then you were just like, oh, you can just move it. And I was like,
yeah. So for anybody who wants to know, by the way, if you buy a new plot for your house, it will pack up your house and move it to that plot. So everything inside your house will be exactly the same. Outside your house, yeah. So outside your house, yes and no.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is the exterior of your house will be the exact same, but the rotational placement might not be as desirable as wherever you built it first. So it's kind of hit or miss.
Gotcha.
It might not matter at all, right? Like you might not care at all, or you might care. It's kind of hit or miss of like if you want your house to perfectly face the mailbox. What I think they should do is they should design it so that it always aligns your house so that the same side that's facing the mailbox of where it was before. Or I say mailbox, the that little post that you have to click to buy the house.
Yes, yeah.
Plot marker, right? Whatever side of your house is facing the plot marker should still be the same side facing the plot marker of the new location.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a change I would suggest they add to the game, and I wouldn't be surprised if it came soon. But as of now, though, if you move, because I moved my house and then I moved it back to test it and see how it worked, it will basically keep the positioning of your home the same in terms of like coordinates, right? So the west, whatever side is facing the west will still face the west when you put it in the new location, even if now the path to your house is coming from the south instead of the north. So it makes sense why it works that way. I just think maybe they could make it a little more complicated and have it rotate naturally to face the path, regardless of where you move it to.
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But it's doable. It's totally doable. So if anybody's been worried, like, I don't know, like, will it, won't it? Like, is it going to be a viable thing? Yeah, you can easily move your house because we don't have a guild neighborhood yet. Our guild master has been traveling. There was some talk of like her trying to pull it off while traveling, and then she's like, nah, it's not worth the stress. So our guild neighborhood is going to open up this weekend at some point, probably, maybe,
Okay.
or maybe Monday. Monday it might open up. Whenever she gets back, has a chance to breathe and actually log into the game.
Yeah.
We'll finally have a guild neighborhood, and everybody's been so excited. Like I love our guild, right? And so the idea of just being able to go hang out with people is awesome.
Yeah.
Like I have some
mean-
people who are in the same neighborhood already that I'm in, and it's more fun, I think, being able to just walk over to their place than having to click their name and teleport every time. It just feels a little closer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of neat. That's something I would have never thought of.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that I had that feature. I mean, that's a pretty dope feature.
I also yeah. What are you saying?
I'm glad that you can turn it off though, because if you couldn't, that'd be kind of a sketch. Someone just kind of shows up when you're, using the shower, or, taking a doo doo.
That's true. I have had people walk into my bathroom in my player housing while I'm on the toilet.
Ooh, yeah, that's weird.
That's not. I'm not making that up.
Yeah, that's dude. Is there doors?
Yeah. I have
Can you put
doors. I have doors.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
As long as you can put a door on your bathroom, put like a little sign.
Because you have to go
hey,
through the bedroom to get to the bathroom.
They were in your room.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, they're taking a look. They're taking a look at my player housing. It would be interesting. Fair. You know what? You know what would be interesting though, and it's kind of they'd have to be careful in how they do it because you don't want to trap people. Mm-hmm. But it would be cool if you could lock certain doors in your house, right? So like if they gave you because right now we're in the very early stages of player housing, so it's fun to speculate on things they could add, right? It's fun to speculate on things they could add. It would be cool if they added a feature where you could actually set permissions for individual doors. To be like, oh, this door can only be opened by people on my friends list.
Oh yeah,
right?
that'd be cool.
So that
did you just call this the beta?
Sorry, this is early access. Sorry, we're in early access right now for player housing.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, sorry, my bad. We're in early access for player housing, but it would be cool. Or you could say, hey, this door here can only be opened by me. That's the only person who can open this door, right? And then that way people can walk in my house, but this one room they can't go into or whatnot, which is fun. I've also watched people make some really cool like secret rooms and stuff. I have like a secret room in my house, although it's not that secret because people watch me walk through it like 30 times on my live stream on Friday. So
oh my gosh,
maybe not the most secret, but whatever. Maybe I'll build another secret room. Back in my Minecraft days, that's all I ever did was build secret rooms. Bro, dude.
Yeah, really.
You got like millions of views for it too. Maybe I can get that for Fortnite or Warcraft. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Blanking on my games right now. Sorry, we were talking about it earlier for a brief second, which is why. However, it would be cool though to have like rooms that you could just like straight up lock, which I think could be I don't know, just a feature. There's a bunch of features people are asking for, like a copy paste feature, the ability to like rather than having to perfectly size something and then angle it the exact way you want and then color it how you want and then do it all over again for a second one. People are like, can we just copy and paste? And there was an interview recently about housing with IGN, and they did tackle that. So Blizzard has said, their designers have said that they are actually working on a lot of these things. They are working on the ability to copy paste. That's going to be coming out for sure. Maybe even the ability that like somebody could decorate a room and then export that as like a string of code that you could import. Same way you would do like talents or something. So that people can design rooms and then post them publicly for others to grab. Or if I walk in your house, say, oh, hey, this is cool. Especially for players who want a cool space and want to have a house that feels fun and enjoyable to be in, but just don't get enjoyment out of maybe sitting there and custom designing every piece of that. That could be a really, really easy way to do it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not to like go back away from what we're talking about, but from what I've gotten, it kind of seems like everything in the community and what I've seen and played a little bit too, everyone's pretty happy with it. It seems like, and this might be a what's the word I'm looking for? This might be a broad kind of aspect kind of thing. And you kind of touched on it. I think people aren't super happy about exterior and kind of how that can be improved.
Yeah.
It sounds like the limitations are just not the greatest. Like there's just a lot of limitations on what you can do when it comes to outdoor, like player housing, like that kind of deal.
Yes,
I just
I'm
don't
not,
know.
Yes, but I'm not super worried. So some of the limitations that exist, so some of the limitations that exist outside right now, we don't have all the customization options that will be available in Midnight for the house itself. So there's a lot more exterior customization that's going to be coming, even bigger sized houses, different themed houses, exterior wise. That hasn't come out yet. We also have a pretty small cap on how many items can be placed outside, right? So we have a 200 point cap, right? Each item has a different point value, right? So, but a 200 point cap, where it's like inside, you're often like over 2,000 points, right, for your inside cap.
Yeah.
And then right now, lighting had to be disabled for outside. So if you can't you can't place lighting items outside. Blizzard actually spoke on that in the interview. They said they had to cancel it last minute because they just ran into an issue where if players were putting like 100 lighting elements in their yard and everyone in the neighborhood did that, it would actually cause some like serious problems. So
yeah,
they had to turn, and I'm sure they're exaggerating by saying 100, but they had to turn that off for
they weren't
technical reasons. I'm assuming that also means that's probably why the limit for outside items in general is lower at 200, and hopefully over time as they figure out how to better what's the word for when you make the game run better? Optimize. As they better optimize things.
Yes, yeah.
As they better optimize things, hopefully we see that limit go up. Because 200, especially for outside, how much space you have outside, it doesn't feel like a lot. Especially because one thing about player housing is the inside of your house is so fun to decorate. You can spend forever decorating the inside of your house. But it is the outside of the house that people are running around looking at, right? Like, your exterior, I think, is almost more important than your interior. Because that's like the first impression. Like that kind of sets the tone for everything. Right now, my house is a rock. It's more like a little mountain boulder cave thing. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of it. People tell me they like it when they see it. Now, they could be lying. It's possible they're lying. But, I'm pretty proud of it. Lots of rocks in my house, too, actually. The whole thing is a cave. You go inside, it's just another cave. Caves everywhere. Rocks everywhere. All the things.
Yeah, that's what you said. Isn't that like the inside of isn't that like how you get into your house?
Yeah. You actually have to go through like a hidden cave entrance. So I have like a bush covering the entrance to the house itself. You have to go through the bush into the cave entrance, and then you'll see the little house door there. The whole house is covered in like big boulders, so it just looks like a giant rock with like greenery around it. It's pretty cool. And then when you go inside, you have like it feels like a very classic World of Warcraft kind of cave feel in there that you navigate into different rooms. And the rooms themselves, like once you're in the rooms, they're not cave rooms. They're kind of designed to just be cool little rooms.
Okay.
But then like going in between those rooms, you have to go through more like cave tunnels and stuff. It's really cool. I dig it. I dig it for sure. You said you've had like a little bit of time to mess with player housing. What's kind of been like? Actually, before I get into all that. The reason why I said I wasn't too worried about the exterior stuff is because it all seems like stuff that they will fix long term, right? So I'm not like really worried. Anything that feels like it's limited right now also feels like it's going to be fixed in the future. Like this is a major thing, and Blizzard knows it. Like I can just tell you right now, based on how many people are doing it, this is going to be a huge feature, and Blizzard's going to keep building on it. I'm not even worried.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were about to like say, okay, sorry. I was like dumbfounded by that for a second, but now I'm like, I agree. Yeah, I don't think this is something that's going to go away and like that people will be like, "Oh yeah, remember when they did like covenants for, Shadowlands? Like, oh, that was a terrible idea." Yeah. It's not going to be like that.
Well, I think the good example would be, and you weren't there for it, but Garrisons, right? Garrisons back.
Yeah.
And I've talked to people who miss Garrisons. They wish they could still have them. The very reasons why, though, that they miss garrisons are exactly why we're never getting garrisons. Total isolation, and then having access to everything that you'd ever want, like all within that little space, right? Which is why we're never getting garrisons again. But player housing doesn't feel like that, right? Like player housing is very different. I have my auction house mount, so when I need to buy some dies or something, I just walk outside, buy my dies or an item or something, go back inside. But for the most part, most things I want to do, I still have to go back to Dornegal to do those things, right? So I'm not necessarily doing everything from my house. Simultaneously, though, even if everything I did was from the comfort of the guild neighborhood or the housing neighborhood, I'm still very social with everybody. At least right now. Maybe that would change. But it just feels fun, just hanging out and walking over to houses and seeing my friends and what's going on. So it feels way more social than garrisons ever did. Because your garrison, you were locked into it. Like, it was just you. Your friends could come over, but they had to be in your party. You couldn't just walk in, right? You can just walk into it. Like, my favorite recently, we have a guy in our guild, who's awesome. I love this dude. Plays mage. And I walked in his house, and it just was like, you could tell he was trying to develop his own like little mage tower Harry Potter vibey kind of home, and it was cool. Like you like look around, and he's got like special walkways up in the air that like you can walk along. He's got a spot in his house where if you play a mage, you can actually blink through a wall somewhere and into a secret hallway.
Oh wow!
So like mages can like actually have like extra access in his home. It's just really cool. It's like the creativity is awesome. And I love being able to just pop over to random people's houses and be like, yo, what you up to? What's happening? I want to see what's going on here. The player housing just, it feels and looks phenomenal. I'm super impressed. I'm super, super impressed.
No, I would be too. I mean, I would be too. I said that so weird. Sorry. I'm like fumbling on my words. I'm getting a little tired here.
No, you're good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something that, I played it a fair amount on the beta. I think the last time we talked about it, I kind of knocked it a little bit just because I was like, like if I really wanted to play it, like if I want to play a game where I'm going to build, like, I'll play like, you know what I mean? Like I've always said that, like,
play
it always comes
Crossing
down to,
right?
like it always comes back to like Plunderstorm. Like if I really want to play Battle Royale, I'm probably just gonna go play Fortnite. Although Plunderstorm I do enjoy for like an hour, and then I'm like, I'm kind of over it. But I mean, they did a good job. I think everything that's in it is good. I think the one complaint is exteriors. Obviously, that is, I would be 99% certain that's probably gonna get fixed, and that's gonna go on. But like obviously, no games perfect when it comes out. I mean, like player housing in this game is basically like probably like a game for most. Like it could be its own game. Like no Mythic Plus, no questing, or maybe some questing. No Mythic Plus, no raid, no PvP, no pet battles, no
right. And all the crafting
right?
stuff that they've had to add in, and all the changes they've had to add in, right?
Yeah. Like
huge.
That's all like it could literally probably be a standalone game and it would be perfect. Like it would do great.
Yeah. And I think
that speaks a lot to.
Absolutely. And I'll say this too, right? Like, those housing simulator games or those neighborhood games, right? Again, you think of like a Stardew Valley, you think of a Animal Crossing. I would even throw in Minecraft into the list because Minecraft has that sandbox kind of feel to it, right? It's got a sandbox house building. And Minecraft actually probably does this the closest, right, to what WoW is doing now. But there's that instant gratification where you get to build a house and then your friend can just immediately pop over and check it out. That doesn't really exist as well in those other games, right? You don't truly have that, really. Right? And just to be like, yo, I'm in the middle of decorating my house and one of my guildmates just jumped in here and came to hang out, right? Or I'm like, I look at the guild list, right? And I see, oh, Travo's online. Let me go pop over to his house, right? And I go sneak into his house and Vlan is sitting on the couch, right? Or whatever is going on. Dude, so I went into Galdrin's house the other day, right? The mage house I was talking about, right? And so I like
Yeah.
walk in, I'm like trying to sneak up on him without getting caught. And so I'm like hiding behind a wall. And as I'm like hiding behind this wall in his house, someone else from the guild had just randomly walked into his house as well.
And
and just
like,
sees me
what's going on here?
hiding behind this wall, right? And I'm like, shh, don't tell
What's
him I'm
going
here.
on here,
Right?
Swag?
But it's just right, and it was just, but it's just fun. It's just like fun having these interactions and the instant gratification of just being able to, like, immediately interact in this again, right? It's MMO housing, right? Not just normal housing, it's MMO housing, and it's fun. It's been so good, and the neighborhood's beautiful. All of our guildmates right now, because again, we don't have our neighborhood yet, are like trying to claim which plot is going to be their plot, right? They're all like trying to go, I want this plot, I want that plot. The reality is I don't even know if there's a bad plot available. They're all great.
Oh, no.
They're all great. All the plots are
There's
fantastic.
not.
And so does it even really matter? No. It all looks good. Or at least to me it all looks good. So you just can't go wrong with it.
No, it's pretty cool. I think, I'll be honest, been kind of like not necessarily avoiding WoW, but I definitely haven't been playing near as much as I haven't played near as much in the last like month or two as I have in like the past month or two before that. And that happens, things go up and down, obviously. But I think this will give me a good, I think this 0.7 patch, weirdly enough, might kind of bring me back to the game. Not like a full time, obviously. But it'll pull me back for, I would say, probably until midnight drops, which is kind of neat. There's a lot of stuff in this patch. I've been kind of working towards the War Within meta achievement, getting all that kind of done. I really want that mount, and it also comes with now a house decor that's like super cool. So it's like the Drain Dark Heart, so that'd be kind of cool to have. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of jump back in. I know if it seemed like I haven't been playing, I still try to hop on like every once in a while and play for a little bit. I was doing a lot of Legion remix, but yeah, I've definitely haven't been super present in WoW recently. But I think this is the push I needed to get back in. So
absolutely,
we shall see. Hey, are you and Shayna gonna get married in WoW?
Dude, I heard that there's some rumor, but it's not confirmed. I think not confirmed that there's some sort of wedding-y-ish thing in WoW. I don't know if it's like an official thing or just like little spaces they're developing within the guild neighborhood that look nice for it.
Yeah, it's not like super official. I think it was part of like the housing access trailer. And there's kind of like a I don't want to say scenario, but kind of like an event where it seemed like it was kind of like a player wedding, if you will. And actually, there was actually a comment on their official YouTube channel that Warcraft actually responded to, and they're just like raised eyes, like, "Oh, whoops, maybe you weren't supposed to see that." You know what I mean? Kind of like, hey. This might happen. Maybe. Dude, maybe not.
Here's the thing. One, why not, right? It'll be cute. It's a cute little
like,
thing.
Come on.
Two, dude, lots of guild drama coming from that one, right?
True. Yeah.
Dude, how many guilds do you think are going to fall apart? How many guilds do you think are going to fall apart when that's added?
Oh, I don't know. Why do you think they would fall apart?
I don't know, dude. I've just been around the block enough times to see the shenanigans that will be. Just bringing something more to the surface. If you understand what I'm saying in this, I apologize that you had to go through guild drama like that. If you have no clue what I'm getting at, you're coasting clear and WoW right now.
Well, I'm one of those people. Well, maybe. Okay, I think I get.
Point being,
kind of
relationships in guilds can already be turbulent enough, and this just it just incentivizes publicizing that more maybe than it would have prior, right? And so now you're adding more notoriety to something. Again, how people abuse a system is up to them, right? So I think it's fun that WoW wants to add that in, especially for little photos. Especially knowing, by the way, that so many people who have got married have met in WoW, right? That it kind of adds like a nice little something in there.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah. I don't think we. I mean, maybe we know someone that has met through like WoW, but like I've heard. I actually know one person in particular that did actually meet his partner through not WoW, but through a different game.
Yeah, there've been a
I
few.
think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've chatted with a lot of people who've met their spouse through World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that's crazy. And imagine you can now marry them. Well, okay, you can't yet, but I'm assuming this is definitely gonna happen. Why wouldn't they?
Well, maybe that's how you have a house. You have a house together.
Oh, you're probably right.
You could both edit the same house or something.
Dude, hopefully that happens because that way I can like
just have your wife do your decorating.
Yeah.
So here's what they did say, by the way. Blizzard did make a comment on this in that IGN interview, saying that they recognize either for the sake of couples or for the sake of like, dude, I don't want to decorate my own house. Can I have my friend come in and decorate it for me? That they are talking about a system that would allow you to grant permissions to people to edit within your home. So that is something that's on their radar that they are thinking about. However, I am going to give another viewpoint and vantage point to this conversation. Okay? All right. Maybe some of the husbands out there listening in right now will understand. They'll understand. I don't think you will understand, Chicken, because you are a perfect husband in every conceivable way.
Okay.
So you won't get this. You won't get this. But the other husbands, the faithful fathers listening right now.
Oh my gosh.
How many times can we slip that term? By the way, if you hear us say that term, it's because I said it one time in the podcast.
You coined that term.
And our Discord crew loves it. They just love it. And so I try to slip it in there. You straight
coined that term.
I try to slip it in there. But right. Anyways, when I was a single lad, right, living on my own, my streaming setup was like half the room, and I had this sick wall that had canvases, like canvas art for every WoW class icon, right, and a big map of Azeroth.
Yeah,
which actually the map is still there, by the way. My wife's the best in the world, so the map is still there. But I had to like kind of when my wife was moving in, she's like, "Look, I love you, Swag. You're amazing. You're a beautiful man. You've got a nice butt. However."
Okay.
This I'd like to decorate my own home, please. And I was like, of course.
Oh, I don't blame
right?
her.
Yeah, right. Like your wives want to kind of nest a little bit and create their space and like design it. And so now she's kind of allowed me to commandeer because we have a small apartment, right? So commandeer a corner for my gaming stuff, which probably takes up more space than I asked permission for, and yet she still lets me do it, which is awesome. Plus, also I've like a ton of guitars that take up a ton of space. So I'm saying this, but I'm also hypocritical because like most of the crap lying around here is mine. But like, it as much as it would be fun to be like, oh, my wife and I have the same house in World of Warcraft. There's also a part of me that's just like, yo, I want my motorcycle pictures on the wall, and I want I want to put all my Death Knight skulls all over every available shelf in this space, right? And I want laser cannons in the middle of my room, right? And so it is funny how the idea to me is very appealing and also very unappealing because it's like, yeah, I like this is my best friend, this is my wife. Of course, I'd want to share the same house with her, even in a video game. But then also part of me is like, but also I want to decorate my own space. So
heck yeah, brother. You're like, I want to be able to do
which is by the way why I built the cave, right? That's why my house is a cave, because that way when they do allow us to share houses, I can just I live in my wife's house, but then I have the man cave.
The man cave.
The man cave, yeah.
That's true. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. But no. I say all that more so comically than anything else.
Yeah. Swag, we know that you're not a misogynist, and even if you were, I would never tell.
Dude, I'm actually pretty good at massages.
Okay. Yeah.
If you ever need one, let me know.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that's not what we're going to talk about on here. I do, however, want to talk. Just a couple more things that have come. Obviously, player housing's obviously the big one in 0.7. Turbulent time waves is a big kind of deal with the Shadowlands. I don't know how you feel about Shadowlands, time walking. Kind of interesting.
About time. About time, right?
Yeah, we're two expansions out. I don't think Shadowlands time walking is that like far fetched. I'm curious of the numbers of people that kind of skip Shadowlands, and maybe that's why they brought it back. Is like, hey,
no,
a lot of people.
It seems on point because in
Shadowlands.
Dragonflight we got BFA time walking, right? End of Dragonflight.
No. We just got BFA this expansion.
Really?
Yeah, we just got BFA on last season 0.7 patch because they released the dragon. Remember the pirate dragon from stupid Tazavesh? That just came last season because of BFA time walking.
Oh, dang. Because we had Legion time walking. We had Legion time walking Shadowlands though, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I think they were just late to the BFA time walking.
Yeah, I don't know if they might have just skipped BFA time walking. Maybe they're just like
Legion would have been 2 before Shadowlands, right?
Yes.
So we're Shadowlands now 2 before. Whatever.
Yeah, maybe they did just skip it.
I know nothing, dude. Nothing ever makes sense to me. It seems like maybe BFA was just a little delayed. I wouldn't know. I mean, again, it's time walking, right? So honestly, if they had time walking available the moment an expansion was over, okay, cool.
Oh yeah, I guess I technically wouldn't be that upset about it.
Yeah. The only thing I want is more time walking raids. I want more time walking raids. Those are fun.
Time walking and raids. Okay.
Well,
that's an interesting.
Well, no, because we have some already, right? Like we have Uldaman.
Oh, true.
Yeah, we have some. I just want more. Is it Uldaman or Ulduar? Which one's the raid?
Oh my goodness, I know which one you're talking about. But I just can't. I'm not
Ulduar.
Like super. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
it is Ulduar.
Yeah,
yes, it is Ulduar.
Yeah.
Uldaman is the yeah.
That was the one that they brought back as a dungeon last expansion.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I forgot about that. It's always crazy. Like just thinking back, how much stuff actually happens over the course of an expansion that you're just like, whoa. Yeah, dude, Blizzard pumps content, and I think we forget that sometimes.
No, it's cool.
Dude, you're yawning. You're yawning on me, bro. You can't be doing that.
This is
content, dude. Now our listeners
yawn.
are yawning at home, in the car, at work.
Oh,
dude, one of our listeners just got fired. Real-time news. Just got fired from his job because he started yawning because you yawned, and his boss caught him yawning and wasn't going to deal with that subpar behavior and let him go. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Imagine.
Yeah. We are now opening up a GoFundMe.
Stop.
Okay, I'm done.
Dude, you just caught me in like the hottest yawn ever. Anyways, yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it's that bad to have it come out literally like the second after. Like literally, it could come out like 2 minutes after the next expansion came out, and I'd be like, "Yep, makes sense. Yeah, I'm okay with that."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, but we're going to switch gears real quick. We have our listener questions coming up a little bit later. But for now, we want to bring on Kaipo and do a little bit of an interview talking about beta, dungeons, raids, class tuning, all things happening right now on the beta. Well, maybe not lore and questing, but all the juicy stuff, all the competitive content things. We want to bring him on and chat about that real quick. Hey, Kaipo, we are so excited to have you with us today. I think the last time you were on was episode 25 when I last checked. So over 40 episodes ago, you were one of our earliest guests on the podcast. How are you doing?
Very well. Happy to be here. Yeah, it's been a while. Long time.
It has been. Dude, I always love chatting with you about WoW because you bring such a different perspective, right? Because you and I talk a little bit here and there. WoW and even just normal life things, but you have been actually doing a lot of testing, I believe, on beta, right? Raids and dungeons and class balance.
Yep, almost about 3 times a week, 3 or 4 times a week.
Is that like guild mandated?
No, I mean it's recommended, especially
Okay.
for like trials.
Yeah.
But
Oh, are you trialing for your guild?
no, I'm not. But
Sorry, no, dude, I'm just teasing. Because you're actually one of the officers for your guild, correct?
yeah,
You kind of help lead
Wait,
things a little
really?
bit.
yeah.
Dude, as much as Flag talks about you, literally like every podcast, he's never mentioned that.
We do.
I think,
Kaipo does come up a few times.
A few times.
I think
Yeah,
I was only
three.
officer for like 2 tiers now.
2 years now.
Eh,
That's pretty
I
sick.
don't
though.
remember.
So at this point in the season, because let's talk about that for a second. We'll talk about the actual beta in a moment, but this point, right? You guys are kind of done. I'm guessing you have it on farm. Are you occasionally doing like sales right now? For the
Yeah,
current rate tier?
we're currently doing sales. We took it light this week, obviously, because we wanted to beta test.
Yeah.
And the beta testing is a lot this time around. It's like 4 or 5 hours.
Dang.
For some reason, they just crammed it all together. Yeah, so we like kind of canceled the raid.
Dude, okay, quick question before we go into the beta stuff, because I'm curious. This is not a promotion. If anybody wants to reach out, I guess they can reach out to you guys.
Oh, I want to know too. I know what you're gonna ask.
Yeah. They can reach out if they want. I think your guild's called Get Help or something. I'll bleep that out if I have to. But but anyways, they can reach out if they want. But I'm not asking for that purpose. I'm asking because I'm actually genuinely curious because I've never tried to before. When it comes to carries at this point in the season, right? What does pricing look like for Mythic?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is 25% of what it is early on. So
Okay,
right now,
Really?
it's probably only like 5 to 6 mil for the last boss and the mount.
that's not bad.
Oh
A
dang.
full run, I think, is probably like 8 or 9.
Dude, if I
Dang.
start selling housing
With
stuff on the
mount?
auction house, I could maybe pay for that.
Ooh.
I'll get you a little discount. I'll get you the mount.
Oh, dude,
Perfect.
there you go.
Perfect. Yeah, no, dude, I've been thinking lately about maybe making a mage or something and trying out for your guild.
Do it,
Oh my
dude.
I've never
gosh,
played
this
mage
guy.
before.
Stay Jang off.
Dude, you've never even DPS, brother.
Dude, I never DPS, bro. Dude, I DPS some dungeons a couple weeks ago with the one button because I was helping teach people, and so I was helping teach a guy how to tank a dungeon, but I needed to. It was just a whole thing, so I had to like swap to Unholy Spec and just slam one button. It was fine. It was miserable actually. I hated it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
noticed you swapped to healer as soon as they announced kicks were gone. It's a little suspicious.
Yeah, dude. Well, I said, wow. I said, wow, dude. They finally tuned Resto Shaman to like be manageable with my like 2 brain cells. 1 brain cell per button, right? Isn't that how that works now?
Yep.
So, all right. No, actually, ironically, I'm switching back to tank next season.
This guy.
Blood DK looks good.
Yeah,
so-
I'm back to blood. Which I've heard. Onto the real topic at hand. I've heard blood's actually looking pretty good. Last
It
we
is
talked,
insane.
Go.
Insane.
which means
is
it won't be
top
good, right?
just damage, man. Yeah, it's 100% gonna get gutted. Sorry.
No.
Dude, we've got a few blood DK. So we have a guy named Glocks who has loyally listened to the podcast. Oh, probably for a year now.
Oh yeah.
And for a long time, every episode, the listener question from him was, "Hey, is blood gonna be meta?"
When will blood be meta?
When will blood-
blood's meta? Will you guys carry me?
But dude, so Glocks, you heard it here first. Blood's looking meta right now. Will probably not be by the time Midnight actually launches, but we'll see. We got a Christmas break coming up, so maybe Blizzard won't have the time to retune that.
That'd be sweet.
All right, so you guys have been doing raids and dungeon testing. Why don't we kind of start with raid, because that's kind of where a lot of the interesting conversation is at right now regarding add-ons, mechanic creativity. You guys are testing, I'm assuming, some mythic and heroic. How does it feel just overall, the overall feel of this raid? Is it enjoyable for you? Has it been fun kind of problem solving mechanics? How does it just feel?
Okay. Overall, the raid is pretty cool. I do enjoy the game more where like it makes me use my brain and having to think more than just reading a weak aura all the time.
Yeah.
That being said, some of the mechanics as of now, you're like, I really wish I had a weak aura for this because it's somewhat impossible. There were a lot of fights this week where, or like the bosses you basically raid from like 2 to 3, then 3 to 4, right? It's an hour each boss.
Yeah.
You were wiping in the first minute, and you did that for an hour.
Ooh.
Like some of them were just really rough.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like
obviously it won't
our
go-
guild
it's
when
not
we
gonna
were
go live like that.
rocking normal.
Yeah, but overall it's pretty cool. I find myself, I feel like I'm looking at the game more,
Mhm.
which I enjoy as a gamer, than like staring at my UI. I don't know if that makes sense. You know how you're just like reading countdowns or like abilities targeting you or something? I feel like I'm actually staring at the game, like my character,
Dude,
the enemy character.
it totally makes sense. By the way, that was so I mentioned earlier that I had been using one button rotation because I needed a DPS like dungeon that I've never played a DPS character on, right? And so I'm like, oh, when I went in, actually originally I went in planning to just use the rotation assistant, and I found myself just staring at my action bar because I just didn't know what to anticipate. And so I was watching my action bar the whole time. I was like, no, this is worse than just slamming one button the whole time. Now, if I took the time to actually learn how to play that spec, I would have been fine. But because I'm like, I had no clue at all what I was doing, it just was miserable sitting there watching buttons light up and try to hit them. Because I wasn't able to watch my feet, wasn't able to watch anything. So to an extent, I totally understand that, right? And that's probably the balance Blizzard has to make right now of how to make the game fun, how to make it engaging, how to make it feel like you're playing the game and not just responding to like alerts that show up on your screen, but also not impossible, right? Like how do you balance that well? All right, which fight do you think exemplifies like good mechanic design the best so far, or at least most fun? Maybe that's the phrase, the most fun.
Okay, it was the one yesterday. I don't remember the name. It was the bird one. It's whichever one is like in the Silver Moon area. It's a giant bird.
Yes.
And those mechanics are like. Yes.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about.
I don't know the name. It was yesterday's testing, and the mechanics are really clear on what you have to do, but also fun.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the different shapes?
It's the one with the different colors. There's like
different
is
colors.
That, yeah. Valoran, right? The Child of Alar or something like that. That's the two.
Yeah,
is that the two boss? That's the two boss dungeon, right?
No, I'm sorry. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about raid.
No, sorry, that's what I meant. The two boss raid. Sorry.
The two boss raid. Oh,
yeah, because there's three raids,
dragons?
Correct?
Oh, there's three raids.
Whichever one is the Silver Moon one. Yeah.
March on Quelden House, right? I think the bird's called like Belorin.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Those mechanics are really good. If they could make the rest of the fights somewhat like that, then it would be a really fun tier.
So what happens on that fight?
Basically, you're kind of like assigned this light. I'm gonna just call it void or whatever. There's like a light and void, and your character will glow like the yellow tint or the dark blue tint. And there's orbs that you have to collect. You have to go to your corresponding color. Then there's dodges that you have to do. And like the floor gets covered in your color, and you have the only way you're safe is if you go to your color.
Okay.
So it's not like too difficult, but it's also engaging enough, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
Well, and that's one of the things I've been curious about is because when we were doing mechanics, now Chick and I mostly did heroic fights. We did some mythic, but heroic was mainly where we lived, so we didn't experience this maybe as much as other people would. I've heard it's a lot worse in mythic where because of weak ores, mechanics that require you to think about it or observe and then react usually give you almost no reaction time because they assume that weak ores is solving it for you, right?
Yep.
And do you find that now Blizzard is kind of swinging the pendulum the other way where they're saying, hey, we know you have to mentally solve this, or someone in your guild is solving this for you at some point, right? Do you find that they're given a little bit more time to accommodate for that?
I think they're trying to, but it's not enough.
Not enough.
There's one boss. Do you want me to talk about the boss?
Yeah. Or? Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's,
all the spoilers.
There's one boss. Okay. Yeah. There's one boss where, it's just this really big guy, and he puts up these two walls left and right, and you have these ads that come out that fixate. Right. When you kill the ads, they explode, and you need, I think it's 5 ads to break either the left wall or the right wall.
Yeah.
The issue is, you do not know which wall he's gonna break. Until like 2 seconds into the cast, where he does this giant beam and it pans through the whole stage.
Oh.
So you can't like commit to a wall or anything, and you can't blow all the ads up at the same time, because when you blow them up or kill them, they explode and they do raid-wide damage. So like, there's just not enough time. So the whole hour we're pretty much just kind of guessing which wall it is.
Okay.
And if we got it right, we got it right. So yeah, they still have to be a little more lenient on that.
Have you considered using a weak order for that?
See,
Oh my
that is exactly where you want the weak order.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just tells you left or right, and you can like pre-blow it up.
Dude, are those by the way,
Yeah,
are
that
those
kinda
like the
sucks.
conversations that you guys are having as you're testing all these fights of just like, we have weak orders for this?
No, everyone, as a joke, yes, but no, everyone kind of enjoys problem solving.
Yeah.
Like that's like the challenge. Like we know it's not killable, but it's kind of like, how far can we get,
Yeah.
or is there a way to do it?
Dude, you know what? Like, it's funny because again, we only heroic prog really primarily, right? So what you do is leagues more complex. So when we talk about what we do, you're probably like, dude, but that's so easy. But when we're
nerds.
when we're prog and heroic, it's funny because there are nights where, and again, we do our research. Like usually we have like a video or something we watch ahead of time, or our raid leader will explain mechanics ahead of time. But then there's always like somebody, and I hate to say it this way, but there's usually somebody who like is only like halvesies in the guild, right? Like they're kind of in the guild, but you know they're like raiding without the guild as well half the time. And so they'll be like, oh, well, my other guild does this on this mechanic or something like that. And whenever that happens, like, dude, you can just feel that everyone else is just kind of ticked. And again, all the info's out there. We even watched the video before you did the fight. But there is that little bit of like, hey, guys, we kind of showed up doing some research. But at this point, it's fun now for us to figure out how we solve this problem, right, as a group. And you just took it away because you raided with like another guild and then are telling us how you guys did it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah. So I get, anyways, all that to say, it is fun. Like, it's fun to problem solve these fights. And it sounds like you're given more time now as a player to learn that rather than to be said, hey, weak orders will tell you blue or green. And then you go to blue or green. Now you as a player are learning, oh, when this occurs, I need to be ready for this. I'm observing,
exactly.
I'm watching.
A lot of prog, like before midnight, is kind of like, let's pull the boss and see what the weak ore looks like instead of let's pull the boss and see what the mechanic looks like. You know, it's
And
like,
then-
how do you read the weak ore?
And then
That's
you're what are you saying, Chicken?
That's a cool way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
I've never. That's nutty.
That's kind of how we
thought about.
Kinda
Yeah.
like the weak ore will tell us, let's just see what the weak ore looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we
Oh
aren't
my
we aren't
gosh.
too weak or heavy as a guild, partly because we have like guild mates who just like would never use it, and partly because we don't really need it
Yeah.
because we're not really pushing Mythic to begin with. But there are definitely moments. I think the most we use weak ore usually if we get like stuck on something, I'll either find a weak ore somewhere or I'll like quickly code a real fast scratch weak ore. Like if everybody's like a great example was back in the first raid this expansion when we had to fight Kaiveza. And our raid just kept firing the balls off in the middle of the group. Like every pull, we were just firing the balls off. And so like I literally just made a weak ore that like plopped a giant cherry on the screen that said "Watch your balls" every time you had
That's
the
kind
debuff.
of awesome.
Right? But they just needed something. They just needed something that like said, "Oh, hey, get out." And that to me was like a fun little weak ore usage because it was like, "Oh, hey, we're as a guild, we're solving this together." That's one thing. But to what you said, right? You all get in, you download the weak ore, then need to check to make sure you all have the same version of the weak ore. And then you go and just see how the weak ore responds. That probably isn't super engaging.
Yeah, it's not.
No. So, but that's been sorry. I love hearing about kind of just what's been going on because we don't usually get to see into this side of things, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Now we did see that the final boss for Mythic was testable-ish for a minute.
That I did not.
that?
Yeah.
I did not test. I read about it though.
Yeah. Because I'm guessing that was not intentional, correct? That wasn't like the plan.
No, they don't want to test less bosses.
No, well, you never know, especially because they're doing the new thing with weak ores or with no add-ons. Speaking of no add-ons, weak ores timing aside, right? How are you feeling with like UI? Now you primarily play DPS. Does it feel solid in the raid experience?
I'm not a WoW complainer.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I am, but I don't like to publicly be a WoW complainer.
Oh,
It's
get off the podcast, then, man.
they need to spend every day working on that before release. That's
Dang.
there's a
Oh,
lot of
no.
stuff that like doesn't work. A lot of stuff like details is really bad. They got a little better,
Yeah.
but there's just a lot of information that isn't even like
Dang.
it isn't there. It's like a for fun details right now. Like you can
Oh,
put random
wow.
numbers up there and be like, that's the same thing.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, we've heard that actually.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. A lot of the customization is not there that like
Okay.
we're used to as having like add-ons and WeakWarriors for so many
Mhm. Yeah.
years. It is not up to par with like what everyone's used to. So customization is kind of lacking. Which I don't know why, because like the idea is already there for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it takes to create it, but they know what people like.
I guess that, you know, it's
And
funny
so far
because
it's not there.
yeah, it's interesting to me because on one hand they're creating it from the ground up, correct? But then on the other hand, they have the blueprint in front of them to copy.
Exactly.
Right. And so I guess
That's
part of
pretty fair.
the confusion for me is like, why don't, like, how hard is it to just like literally rip details and just slap it? Like, how hard would it be for them to just
Yeah,
go to the guy who
I don't
makes
think it is.
details? Go to the guy who makes details and be like, "Yeah, we'll give you $10,000. Like, let's put this in the game.
Exactly.
Here we go."
I don't know what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
about every single part of the UI is lacking.
Yeah. And I guess that's where it's confusing to me because again, they have it. Now I've heard speculation that because of the add-on change and everything they're doing, they're really building it all from the ground up. Like, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the speculation I'm hearing, and that's partly why some of it's so wonky. Is because they're not building off what pre-existed. They're like from scratch,
would make
rebuilding
sense.
how you track enemies, how things are happening. Now, some of the UI elements themselves, like the art, is carried over, but the actual like engine that's running it is like being rebuilt, and that's where some of the difficulty is. And again, we still have like 3 months until midnight, so not a ton of time, but not a small amount of time either.
Yeah. That actually makes sense about what you're saying about them doing it from the ground up, because like details is a good example. Like you know how in details right now you can see like how much damage was done to a specific ad or anything.
Yeah.
And this you can't do that. You just see like, hey, your blood boil did this much, and that's it. Like
No,
that
dang.
is all the information you get.
You know what?
There's
You know what?
nothing.
Some of my curiosity too, though, is just like how much of this exists because players kind of suck. And what I mean by that is because we as WoW players will find every opportunity to abuse anything and everything that we can abuse. Right? Like that's just how we are. We will abuse the system. Like right, min maxing is in our blood. And the reason why I build that up is because what I picture is like, let's say detail or the in-game damage meter actually breaks down who you're doing damage with. Will players find a way to take that info out of the meter and then build some sort of logic from it, right? And that's probably what Blizzard's fighting right now. Is like, how do we do things that don't just let people take that info and then just turn it into logic for problem solving?
I mean, that's a whole different approach to the game.
Yeah.
At least from like the min-max point of view, right?
Right.
Not
Yeah.
casual. You're always trying to be faster. You're always trying to do better. And if that's just not available,
Yeah. And that's probably the question, right? How do they create these things that can't be used to circumvent the like blockage of logic happening?
yeah. The issue right now though is like if you take that part away, at least for me,
Yeah.
if you take that part away, like that aspect of the game out,
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to replace it with?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
just want to hit random mobs with 2 buttons because now the class is only 2 buttons.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not fun, at least for me.
Yeah. No,
So
I
it's
agree.
like
I agree.
The fun part was like I have to hit this ad, you're hitting this ad because you have more fun. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I
and
like
you
that.
don't want to have to go back into a log afterwards to find out. You're kind of like, no,
Yeah,
I'd like to have that
that's
info
what
in
you
front
have
of me.
to do right now.
Yeah.
You have to just log everything, and oh my god, it's not fun.
Yeah, right. Because that becomes a pain in the butt. Now, for most players, that probably doesn't matter too much. But again, where you're at, right? Because are you in title range right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You know, like for you, that's life or death, right? Like if your crew isn't playing like appropriate, like isn't targeting exactly what you target, you just can't time. You're not going to complete.
Yeah, you'll fail.
And that's an interesting thing about just that constant. Because I don't know if you saw, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But I'm sure you did actually. There are already nameplate like recoloring add-ons for beta, and it's basically It's basically going off whether or not they have like mana. It's like, oh, if it has mana, it's probably a caster, probably, right? So, right, but that proves the point I was trying to make of like what information will WoW players find that
They're always gonna do it,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
And so Blizzard's fighting that, and it almost feels like it has to hit a point. I know they don't want to, and I think they're gonna do everything in their power to possibly avoid it. But it almost feels like it could potentially. I hope not. I do hope not. I don't think this will happen. But hit a point where Blizzard's just like, yo, when you enter combat, all add-ons are automatically disabled, right? Like, right?
That'd be crazy.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
But that to me seems like the only way that Blizzard could like avoid it. But then that means that you can't have UI customization, and that would suck.
Yeah, that would suck.
And I think they want to dodge that as much as they can. But then your UI customization goes, well, that guy's a mage. He's probably casting bolts.
Yeah, dude, that's how I approach the game. When I go into the dungeon on beta,
yeah,
I look for anything that's like mage related or priest or something. I'm just like, yeah, I'll focus in that.
Yeah. So, since we're talking about right, the dungeon pool's open. We got 4 new dungeons, 4 returning dungeons, right? I say returning lightly because honestly, some of them are basically new to begin with. Like Pit of Sauron and stuff. Even though it's an ancient dungeon, as an M+, it's a brand new experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, how did the 4 new ones? Which 4 do we have that are coming in for season 1?
Names. Yep, you're always getting me with the names.
No, you're good. I don't even know, bro. I had that question hoping you would know. I don't remember.
Off the top of my head, no.
But we are getting 4 of them. How are the new ones feeling? Though, like the midnight specific ones.
The new ones are pretty cool. I actually enjoyed. I still have to do more of the new ones this week.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the old ones a lot more so far.
Okay.
Just like with mob density and that just seemed a little more fun. Of course, like, oh well, that's not really fair because it's like Algathar Academy, right? Where it's just tons of AoE all the time.
Algathar's
it's a lot of fun. Yeah, so that's the kind of the bar right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is Algathar Academy, and you want one of the new ones to be like, can it be as fun as Algathar Academy?
Yeah,
at least for me.
So so the 4 returning ones are Magister's Terrace, Mysara Caverns, Nexus Point, and Windrunner Spire, which are fun. Those are the fun 4 new ones, and then obviously old ones. Algathar we mentioned, Seed of the Triumvirate, Skyreach. I hated Skyreach. Dude, why was Skyreach back? And then Pit of Sauron. Question for you too, because you kind of mentioned this, right? They're trying to make them as fun. I find that every season we get like a returning dungeon that's just like goated. Like it's one of the returning ones. It's fantastic. Yes. It feels great. Yeah. And I don't know why. The problem is like whatever dungeon is just easy enough but enjoyable will always be goated. And I don't get why they always tune the new dungeons to be the hardest.
Really hard.
Right? Because then it makes you as a player, you kind of go in there and your brain associates them with bad because it's going to be harder. So you associate, like you just, even if you're not thinking about it, subconscious, you just go, oh, this one's harder, not as fun.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do it.
Right? Imagine how much more we would love new dungeons if the new ones were always the like slightly easier ones and the returning ones were always like the slightly harder ones.
That would actually be a really cool approach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Because people already love Algathar. So you can make Algathar kind of a pain and then go make like Windrunner and Nexus like easy dungeons. Not easy, but you know what I'm saying? Make them fun, make them big pulls, make them a little bit like easier to go quickly within them, right? And try different unique things out. Exactly what makes Algathar fun.
Yeah, it's very possible that they do it that way because they want it to somewhat last longer. I guess the prog of a dungeon or how fast you figure it out. They don't want it too easy because then kind of like, okay, season's over. I kind of get it already.
Yeah.
Where this is like, okay, it takes a couple weeks to actually master a dungeon or something.
And you are going into Algathar fairly well aware of what everything's going to do before you walk in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Didn't think about that. Did not think about that. That's wisdom, chat. That's wisdom right there if you're listening. So, all right. So the new dungeons, kind of dodging them a little bit so far, but overall, do they feel all right?
They're cool. Yeah, okay. They do feel okay. Obviously, it's like. First week tuning is always hard on some.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's totally normal. But so far they are pretty cool. There's one where the boss will spawn a bunch of clones,
Mm-hmm.
and then he turns into one of the clones, and he just goes randomly in there, and you kind of have to find him. It's actually kind of hard,
Oh,
but we found a way to cheese it where you could hunter's mark him.
okay, that's pretty smart.
And so if anyone goes on beta, that is the cheese for that. If you keep wiping,
Because I guess it
Yeah,
carries the debuff over.
exactly.
Because I guess if you mark
the only way we
him,
were able to do it.
if you mark him like a normal mark, that probably wouldn't work. Correct?
It won't work. We tried that. Yeah, we tried that. It wouldn't work.
Wow.
I still don't know what the actual tell is.
Yeah.
And maybe there is no tell. Maybe it's like everyone cover a zone. And if he spawns near you, then you know. But Hunter's Mark was the way to cheese it. And that's us WoW players, right? Just cheese it.
Cheese it, dude. Cheese it all the time, bro. I actually keep Cheez-Its in my player housing just for that very reason.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. And on to today's sponsored. I'm kidding. Cheez-Its, you
I
can
wish.
sponsor us, though. I'd take it. I'd accept it. I'd accept it.
Imagine.
Dude, if we get a Cheez-It sponsorship before we post this, it's going to happen right here. All right, we'll edit
That'd
that
be
in.
awesome.
It's not happening. All right, anyways. So while we have you still with us for a little bit longer, we've talked a little bit about raid. We've talked a bit about dungeons. Talked about blood decay tuning, but overall, how does class balance feel? Are there any big takeaways like
That's
right
true.
now? Things that you're excited about, or things that like you are dreading if they were to stay the same as they are now, going into
Reading,
midnight?
melee is pretty down bad.
Isn't it always?
The tune, yeah, actually, yeah. I mean,
That's pretty fair.
Yeah, that's pretty on brand. That's pretty on brand.
the tuning is kind of all over the place right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's early beta.
I've also heard the damage
Um,
meters are recording info oddly too, correct?
Dude, this week they were all saying 0.
Oh, that's always fun.
So like the bar visually will go up, and it's
Yeah.
like proper, right? Whoever's doing the most, top, second, but all of it just said 0, so you can't actually tell what you're doing.
That's crazy.
That
I've
was
even
only
heard
this week.
Because I've even heard that like doing damage to yourself, right? Like classes that do self damage, that it was calculating that
counting?
even. Yeah,
Oh,
so like
that's interesting.
Brewmaster Monk
Oh, wow.
was Brewmaster Monk was doing a lot that way, where damage to themselves was like hard calculating into it because of a shuffle.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Some just oddities. Some oddities. I think my favorite thing I've heard too, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard AUG evokers still don't track correctly either on the official.
Yeah,
the
no,
official
no.
Blizzard.
That's like always going to be
Oh.
logs, and then even that is like
Yeah, dude, you just gotta take them at
it's
their
probably
word.
more than everything says. Yeah,
They say they're good. I trust you.
yeah, they're pretty good. A lot of
Yeah.
the cast, it's so far the top people are all casters. So it's like your Shadow Priest, your Warlock is really good, your
Mhm.
Mage, VDH, DK.
Nice, dude.
A lot of the casters are looking really, really good. As far as like class revamp,
Yeah.
some of it, it's a little boring.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is why I'm hoping like they make the game really fun, so that way I don't mind only pressing 2 buttons if that's available. But yeah, as of now, a lot of like the tuning is like you do the most damage if you just build spend. It's the same like one builder, one spender.
Oh, is that pretty
That's kinda
common
how it is.
across most specs then?
Yeah, I've done Rogue, DK, Ret, Hunter. The new DH spec is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you tested that already.
Yeah,
on
I was
Alpha?
playing around on Alpha a little
Mhm.
bit. I didn't know what I was doing, but it was fun. And the visuals look great.
Yeah, visually it's really awesome.
Mhm.
That is like the new BM Hunter though.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, but
Okay.
hitting collapsing star
Yeah.
does feel good.
Okay.
Really good.
Well, that's what's
Right.
fun. Like when you get to press a button, you're like, I'm doing something
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah,
pressing this
yeah,
button.
yeah.
It's true.
I agree.
Because that's been the downfall right now. Is like, dude, nothing I press matters, right? Like anytime I press a button, I'm like, okay, whenever I
It
press,
doesn't yeah.
right? Like it doesn't matter.
I'd like to know I have a big nuke coming.
Yeah. That's
Like,
how I
when
felt
when
by the
I
way
hit
healing.
it's gonna die.
Yeah, I feel that way healing. I mean, I play Resto Shaman, which Resto Shaman is really good this season. But even still, like, there's nothing I press that I'm like, yeah, that's an awesome ability. I just did, right? Like, it's just like I'm sitting there spamming Chain Healer or something stupid. Still playing the Totemic build instead of Farseer for dungeons because I'm a loser.
Yeah, I don't enjoy classes like that.
No. No, dude. Well, that's what Farseer was, which I had fun in raid because there's enough to do in raid. But you're literally hitting Riptide and then Healing Wave, which is like Riptide, Healing Wave, Riptide, Healing Wave, the whole dungeon or the whole raid encounter, which was not fun. But actually, speaking of which, healing did get some major changes coming into midnight. So I'm assuming you have been running your dungeons and your raids with healers in your group. It's possible you haven't. Chicken and I, we don't play at the mythic level, so we're not sure what kind of weird things you guys do. But any word from your friends who have been healing? How does it feel for them?
Healing is hard, but if you're like a healer main, you're gonna love it.
Okay.
Like I know healer mains always want something to heal.
Yeah.
And that's what it is right now.
Not me, dude.
So
I like DPSing as a healer.
Yeah, like we were in raid testing, and I think we only had 3 healers for this one boss.
Okay.
And someone had to go, and so we were raiding it with it's our guild Get Help and a guild called Humble.
Yeah.
We were with them, and their raid leader was like, "Okay, let's just go grab another healer." And JB just goes, "No, if anything, take away another healer." Like they're just enjoying right now.
Good.
How difficult it is.
Which is good because JB is notorious.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sure he's actually. You've told me he's a super fun dude to hang out with and talk to.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
Yeah. I just think his Twitter. By the way, I think the worst part about his Twitter rants. If anybody follows JB on Twitter, or if you don't, you should. He will complain like no one else will complain. The problem is it's genuinely funny. So you can't like articulate a good response back because
he's very creative when he complains. Is what it is. Yeah.
They're so good.
All his posts are complaints. It's really funny.
Yeah, but at the same time, right? Like he's thoughtful and creative with the way he says it, which makes it very amusing.
Yeah.
So healers having fun. DPS tuning.
There's still bugs.
Okay.
I know like H-File is like super buggy, kind of unplayable right now.
Yeah. Now I know
one of the healers my guild's talking about.
I might be a little biased right now. But I did hear Resto was a little gutted. Resto Shaman.
Yeah.
In practice, how's it feel?
I haven't heard anyone.
Don't hurt me, please.
Okay, every shaman I've played with in dungeon testing has been like, I'm gonna swap after this one. That's kind of been the common like line that's been said from multiple healers I'm with. They're like, I'm just gonna swap.
That's okay. I'm playing Blood DK for healer. I'm playing Blood DK for healer next season. So
yeah, you'll top.
Yeah, top healing and damage. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because I think when I talked to you that one night, we were chatting about tuning in beta. You said Blood DK was what the 5th highest damage dealer.
It was so it was so high. It's like near top 5.
Perfect. That's how it should be. Honestly, Blood DK should just, if they make Blood DK perfect in every conceivable way, I wouldn't complain.
They should make every tank in Midnight just do really good damage, like half a DPS damage or more. Every single thing. My
general rule of thumb is like a pretty good tank should do more damage than like a bad DPS, right? Like if you're a good tank, you should do more than a bad DPS. But a good tank should never do more than a good DPS. And right now it feels like we're far below that line, at least in the War Within. We're like far below it.
Yeah, 100%. It needs to be like they can like somewhat top outside of cooldowns, but when DPS hit cooldowns or something, they're just they'll send.
Right.
But tanks should feel really, really good.
Good.
And I think you'll probably get more in.
I think you want to feel like when you press buttons, pressing buttons matters, right? And so like a DPS would be like, oh, well, your job is to tank. It's not to do damage. But I'm still hitting a DPS rotation. So I want it to matter, right? I want it to matter. I think same with healers, right? Like when I'm playing Resto Shaman, I think Resto is a good example because you kind of have to go out of your way to cast damage. When I throw my little fireballs, I want to feel like I'm helping, right? And then when I look at the meter, I'm like, dude, I could have just stood there. I didn't have to do nothing, right?
You're pretending. Yeah, you're pretending it mattered.
Like I could just slash danced and it would have been just as like beneficial to the group. And I know why they're cautious because if it is helpful, then it will start to get expected. But I think that's like a mark of a good healer, right? Like a good healer is able to kind of keep the group alive. Also, it depends, right? Like when I'm running, dude, I'll run like a +12 and it is the hardest experience of my life. I am stressed. I'm like panicking the whole time. I'm pugging this thing and I'm out of mana like every other pool. And then like I ran those keys with you the one time, or I did like
the floodgate.
We did the floodgate. I did a 15. I don't remember what the 15. Oh, Arakara. I did a 15 Arakara. Dude, I had no mana problems. Yeah, Arakara is a pain to heal, especially for Shaman, because even though you have Poison Cleanse Totem, it kind of sucks now. And so you have like nothing to handle poison. And yo, dude, like no mana problems. And so it's so funny how like you go from like a pug group that's like, dude, you are their defensive, right? Like you are their defensive, and then you go into like a guild group or with friends, and you're just like, yo, this is easy. This is the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. And so yeah, that built a lot of confidence because I pugged a lot this season, and I just was like, dude, I don't know how people are doing this. And then I went and ran with guildies who actually like, they had their defensives on their bar, which was wild, which was insane to me.
Yeah, usually they're not playing from their spell book.
Yeah, you usually have to open the spell book. It's like defensive, and you open the spell book and you turn over.
You gotta go to the search bar.
Yeah.
Versus search bar.
Right. You go to the generic tab, and then there's stone form. There's stone form in there.
That's crazy.
That's good tech for anybody who's listening.
They're not playing dwarf. They're probably playing like male Draenei or something.
Dude, it's your tank, and they have the defensive, so they slam a shadow meld. Sorry, I'm done.
So funny.
I'm done. Okay. But anyways, Kaipo, dude, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Any final thoughts from beta that you're just like, yo, this is something that's been on my mind or been thinking about?
Oh gosh, let me think for 15 seconds.
No, you're good. I can stall. Hey, don't forget
raid buffs. Fix raid buffs still.
Yeah. What do you mean?
That's my biggest thing. It just give the underlying classes that don't have something relevant.
DK.
Give it to them or make them OP. Yes, DK, rogues. They just changed the hunter one, which is insane. You just have 5% damage all the time.
Oh.
On your marked target. That is crazy.
That's insane. Well, that's insane, especially for like a raid
buff.
Yeah, for a raid boss, dude. You only have one target.
It's crazy. Yeah, you always have a hunter.
I wouldn't be surprised if they drop that down to like 2% for raid or something. Like changed it for raid versus dungeon.
I could totally see it getting tuned.
Because 5% in the dungeon is like almost nothing except on the boss. Like on the boss, it's great, but then on the trash pack,
like
it means nothing.
Mob, maybe. Yeah, it's not
right.
Crazy. Yeah, for raid, it's crazy.
Yeah. I think it was like 40 episodes when we had you on last that we brainstormed some sort of leech buff for DKs.
Yeah,
I'm still all for this. All for this.
What I love is like they'll implement it, you'll be super happy, but it does nothing for the game.
No,
it's just leech.
Literally nothing.
It's just leech.
It's so funny.
yeah, but it's thematically on point, right?
Dude, guys, my class brings us indestructible on all our armor pieces. You want me?
Dude, you know what? Well, I guess it depends on how much leech you would need to like actually make any type of like, right?
Yeah, to feel it. Yeah,
right. Because like how much leech do you need for like 1% of your damage to be healing or something? I guess that's the question, right? Because how I don't know. Anyways, it would make your healers Well, actually, according to what you just said, actually, it would make your healers unhappy. There's less to heal.
Yeah, they want to heal.
Right, and then give the DK on the WoW UI details meters credit for all that self healing from the leech.
Yeah, so just skyrocket.
Yeah. Your little unholy DK just like quadrupled everybody else every time.
They're so funny.
That would be great, dude. That'd be so good. All right, Kaipo. Before you pop off, dude. Last time we had you on, dude, you were a nobody. Literally, no one ever heard of you. No one cared about you. I loved you, but no one else did, dude. I had to actually tell your mom who you were. I was like, oh, dude, no, that's your son who's on our podcast. No, I'm jesting, but I'm building up to say though, dude, you have been streaming lately and like popping off, bro. Dude, you've been popping off on stream.
It's been pretty good. 2 or 3 months in, yeah. Some good days, like 30 to 50. It's pretty good,
dude. That's awesome, man. I'm proud of you, bro. That's big. That's big numbers, dude. That's big numbers. So if anybody wants to follow you on Twitch, check out your Twitch live streams. It's Kaipo TTV. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Perfect. We'll have a link down in the description as well. So whatever platform you're on, you can check the description and get a link to Kaipo's Twitch. Dude, again, thank you so much for popping on, talking about some stuff that we don't have a lot of experience with, but we're just excited. We're excited for Midnight, and any info that we can get about this expansion just has us thrilled. So appreciate that a ton. All right.
I appreciate the invite, and I'll keep you guys updated in DMs with beta stuff. So
Absolutely. We would love love that info. All right. Thank you.
cool.
Now let's switch gears and go into some of our listener questions. But before we do that, a little quick speed bump of some announcements, advertisements, podcast sponsors, all the fun things. So first of all, this podcast episode is brought to you by Zygor. Zygor is an add-on for World of Warcraft that allows you to basically be guided through almost any content in the game, whether it's gold farming, questing, leveling, whatever you're trying to do. Zygor probably has a guide for it on both retail and classic game modes. So you can check that out with our link down in the description. That supports us if you use that link. But also you can use code SWAGLOCK for an extra 20% off. Now, what you can't get 20% off right now is an invite to our guild. That's right. You get a full, whole, entire invite for free $99 if you want to join our incredible guild, Astra. Astra, though, is not a guild for the podcast. It's just a guild that the podcast hosts happen to be a part of. And if you want to learn more about it, you can join my Discord. There's a link down in the description, and go to the Join Astra channel in the Discord, and we'll answer any questions you have. You'll just create a little ticket. We'll answer any questions you have about our guild. But Astra is a wonderful guild. It's not toxic. It's encouraging. It's very supportive. It's slowing down a little bit right now towards the end of the expansion, but we normally do have, learner raids where you can kind of learn how to raid together. We call them Academy Nights. We do a weekly M+ Keys event. And so much more to be a part of. I think our next two major raid events we have coming up are a Paladins only raid and a Druids only raid. Those are going to be a lot of fun. Check those out. And the last thing you want to check out right now is actually our Patreon. I said last thing, but I just mean like last thing in terms of little podcast moments, not last thing ever, right? Because it's actually pretty cool. Our Patreon is pretty cool. You should check it out. If you love the podcast and want to support us and thank us, Patreon is a great way to do that. This podcast literally only is posted because Patreon pays for it, basically. You guys pay the hosting fees, and we appreciate that tremendously. It is such a huge help. And with all that said, though, we got some listener questions to get into today. We got a couple here, partly because I realized we didn't have any because we forgot to ask for them, so then we asked for them when we started recording. And so now we got a couple. First one, kind of partial question for you, Chicken. Kind of partial not question. Kind of a statement. So, Chicken, you had mentioned pushing towards KSL, right?
Heck yeah, brother.
Welcome, Plague. Just wanted to say, Chicken, just listen to the podcast at work. You mentioned KSL. No doubt in my mind that you can get it. But I would like to warn you, be cautious if you're pugging. This week was probably some of the worst experiences I've had in keys with pugs. From a 722 Holy Priest not being able to heal in 8 to a Geared Out Mage doing less overall damage in the tank and causing a wipe in the 7. And that's in farm keys. Yeah, so I think you and I have talked about on the podcast. I think we talked about even towards the end of Dragon. We had this podcast in Dragonflight, right? No. Did we start this podcast in the War Within?
No. We did start it in Dragonflight.
I don't remember. I don't remember when we started, but we've talked about this like every season. Towards the end of the season, at this point, pugging keys just becomes a nightmare. It really does. And it's twofold. It's twofold because on one hand, you kind of get annoyed because everybody's doing horrendous. But then secondarily, you realize that you yourself are usually pushing a little bit further than you normally would push, right? So you're doing that. But then also, a lot of other people are trying to do that. And so you can't really get upset because you have to recognize, like, wait, people are building up the courage to try and push themselves and grow. And you want to be proud of them. At the same time, then you find yourself in a +8 with somebody with 2,800 rating and they can't heal the 8. Right? And we kind of, I joked with Kaipo about it in the, little interview we did. But, I've healed 10s that had me pulling out my hair. And I healed a 15 where I'm just like, barely paying attention because the group is like so well played that I don't have a whole lot to do, right? So it really does. But yeah, at this point in the season, it's usually pretty rough. We also have a question coming in from question coming in from Tiger Ace Ray, one of our favorites here. And he said, "How do you manage the risk of burnout or feeling like WoW's a chore rather than a hobby?"
Oh wow, man, we just talked about this. Well, I just mentioned it actually, just because I've kind of felt like we are in a stale point in WoW. I've felt like we've been in a stale point in WoW for probably like a couple months now. And to be honest, it's kind of hard. I think Legion Remix really kind of helps. But outside of Legion Remix, it is hard. So I think the best thing to do, in my opinion, is just kind of limit your time in the game, because I think if you just continue to play at the pace that everyone played at, the beginning of the expansion, you'll definitely burn out a lot quicker. And that's what I've kind of tried to do in the past, is just, hey, instead of maybe playing like every day, which is what I've done in the past, I just limit it to like twice a week. And that's really helped me in terms of just trying to longevity of the game. Hey, maybe I'm still trying to go in and do a 10 that week. That way I have it for my what's it called? My vault.
Yeah.
Or I'm just coming in and doing some delves real quick to kind of do that. And that's kind of helped. But other than just like slowing down and like pacing yourself, try new content. That always helps. I mean, literally, WoW is a huge game. You could probably, oh my gosh, you could probably throw a dart and find something new in WoW.
Well, that's probably the big one, right? The big one.
That's definitely the big one,
dude. And never totally cross something off. Never be like, oh, I don't like that, so I don't do that. I think
PvP.
that. Right. Well, that'd be a great.
That
that'd be a great
joke.
point.
That was a joke.
That'd be a great point, right? Like, I know people are just like, I'll never PvP. I'll never PvP. I was like, okay, whatever, cool, I guess. Oh, that's weird. To me, that's weird. Like, that's weird to be like, I'll never do that, right? I joke about delves, but like, dude, maybe I just want to go do some delves, right? And I had a moment this season where I was just kind of feeling a little burnout on dungeons, right? I've been pugging a bunch and I wasn't having too much fun. And I think I took like 2-3 weeks and I was just doing arenas and battlegrounds most of the time. And it was just fun. I was I was just looking forward to logging in and doing that, right? Right now, I'm just logging in and doing player housing. I'm having a blast in player housing right now. And it's fun. So being able to switch up and do content is good. Tiger, I also don't know if you're asking this question specifically for yourself, or you just think it's a fun question asked for the podcast. But I think if I were to answer it with you specifically in mind, right? Because I know you've been pumping hard on Remix. I think, by the way, Tiger, if I'm correct on this, you have almost every item possibly that you could get in Remix right now. Like, you've been farming everything. And I do think that would be part of my advice for people, is when it comes to WoW, be careful that the things you're working for are things you really want, because it's really easy in a game it's really easy in a game like WoW to try to have everything, right? Because you get that FOMO. You're like, I don't want to miss out on this. I don't want to not have it. I need to collect everything. Yes. I need every amount. Now, for some people, that's just the way you're wired. You're just like, no, I want to go collect every amount. That's fun. That's enjoyable. I target my focus on that, and that's fun for me today, and that will be fun for me 30 years from now, right? Totally fine. Yeah. I'm not wired that way. Other people are. I'm not, though, right? And for me, I have to look at something and be like, oh, I really want that, and I'm going to work for that. Or, oh, it does kind of suck that I'm not going to get it, but I know if I extend too much of my time trying to farm this out, I'm just going to hate the game, right? And so I try to be careful that, like, ultimately everything I do is because it's just fun. If it ever starts becoming not fun, I'm no longer committed to it, right?
Oh yeah. Yes.
You never feel like, right? Because WoW is a chore when it's no longer fun, right? WoW is a chore when it's like, well, I have to do this for whatever. And now there are sometimes chore things, right? So like
leveling.
Leveling, right? But you level so that you can get to the end game, right? And that's okay. If the reward is worth it, do it, right? If the reward is worth it, do it. But if the reward isn't even worth it, that just feels like a chore. So, like, for example, if our raid leader's like, yo, I need everybody to do 4 dungeons every week to prepare for raid and the gear for raid. Cool. Awesome. Even if I love dungeons, but even if I didn't like dungeons, or if I was bored of dungeons, I love raiding and I want to show up prepared to raid. So I'll do my 4 dungeons and, like, I'm showing up ready to go, right? But if I'm burning out on dungeons and there's no incentive to do them other than maybe I want to try and get resilient keys, but also resilient keys don't mean anything because then I don't want to do dungeons in the first place. So why do I actually want resilient keys? Is it just to tell my friends I have them? But then they'll know I have resilient keys and I'm done doing dungeons, and now they'll want to do my dungeons because I've right. So at that point, then it's like, maybe that feels like a chore, right? Like, I have, and that's a good example because I have 111. I think my Dawnbreaker's 11. I like Dawnbreaker. I'm not avoiding it. It just happened that way where I got Keystone Legend without pushing Dawnbreaker to a 12, coincidentally. Wasn't avoiding in the dungeon. And I kind of want resilient keys, so I kind of at some point want to push that Dawnbreaker, but I'm not like scratching to do it, right? I'm not like, oh, I gotta run this Dawnbreaker right now. And so I'm just like, whatever. I've had a couple people reach out and be like, hey, if you want to plan time to do it, I'm just like, I'll do it because it'll be fun eventually to say I got the resilient keys, but right now, I'm kind of, if I'm doing dungeons, I'm kind of doing them on my tank so that I warm up for next season. Plus, I've been healing all season. So now tanking some dungeons has been really fun, right? Changing the role I play has been fun. Yeah. But then also, like, I don't know. It's just, dude, there are times, by the way, where I will race change a character or even just, like, go to, like, the barbershop and redesign my character and put a new transmog on my character. And it's just, like, fun again. Because I feel like I'm logging into something fresh. And I know it sounds so dumb, like that's so unimportant, but sometimes that even does the trick for me.
That does sound mad dumb. I'm not going to lie. No offense.
Yeah. And by the way, we have a question from Travo regarding some upcoming lore stuff about Sylvanas. I have no problem talking about spoilers on this podcast. I will never shy away from spoilers. You're listening to a WoW podcast, dude. You're trying to get as much info as you can. With that said, I've actually been so hard into player housing right now, I haven't done it. So we're going to save that question for next week when I've actually done the 11.2.7 storyline and can give some thoughts and pointers on it. And we'll see how it goes because I know we'll be talking a lot about the Windrunner sisters when we do our official Lorecast episode. So for those who don't know, in December, I believe it's the last 2 weeks of December, we will be releasing 2 special Christmas Lorecast episodes, partly so that Chicken and I can pre-record them and then enjoy the holidays with family and not think about the podcast too much, and partly because I have been itching to get Chicken up to date on everything that he needs to know going into midnight, and so that's what's going to be 2 episodes.
Yeah, it kind of works out.
2 episodes that just get you so prepped and hyped for midnight is going to be so good. So with that said, though, that's everything for today. We are so excited that you're hanging out with us, listen to this podcast. Feel free to jump into our Discord, link down in the description. Just chat with us. Talk to us about WoW. We love hanging out. We love chatting. There's even a channel for the Faithful Fathers. I don't even know what that channel's for, to be honest. Originally, I made it for Delve Dads to talk about delving. I'm pretty sure they talk about everything but delving in there.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah.
No rhyme or reason to it, but it's a fun place to hang out all around. So we will see you next week.
Yeah, buddy.